Hello everyone, welcome to Python for Everyone. In this video tutorial, we're going to talk about logic and decision making as it happens in your Python program. Running code conditionally, depending on whether a value is true and false, is a foundational ability to be able to do something important and meaningful with your program. So that's what we're going to talk about today, how to make decisions and how to run code under certain conditions but not others. So let's start off with some code. Okay, let me explain this code. We're going to start off on line 1 by taking our order. So the server is going to say super salad. Whatever the user types in is going to go into the variable order. And then on line 2, the if statement says if the order contains the word soup, really if the order is equal to the string soup. If that's true, line 3 is going to be executed and it's going to print out the words, it's clam chowder. Hope you like clam chowder. If the order was not equal to soup, then execution progresses to line 4. The elif asks another question and says, is the order equal to salad? So if the user types salad, line 5 is going to execute and it's going to say, I hope you like ranch. I don't particularly care for ranch, but I'll eat it. If neither of those conditions are true, execution is going to go to line 6, the else, which matches when nothing else is true, and it's going to say, and then the server is going to say, huh? So let's take a look at the execution of this program. Okay, my very first step, it's going to ask super salad. So what's it going to be? Well, let's go for the chowder today and ask for the soup. Click submit, and after a little blink, we're on line 2 and Python is asking, is the order equal to soup? Well, we can clearly see that the order variable here contains the value soup. So order equals soup is going to evaluate to true. And that means next is going to take us to line 3. Line 3 is where our server is going to say, it's clam chowder. And then what happens is our program is finished. Execution stops and skips all the way to the bottom. So let's see another scenario. To see another scenario, we've got to go back out to edit and then back in to visualize. So let's do that, and this time let's ask for the salad. Say we're making a healthier choice. Salad. Submit. Okay, now Python is going to execute line 2 and ask us, okay, if the order is equal to the soup or is equal to the word soup. It is not. So we're going to step over line 3 and go to line 4, where we're asking another question. Is the order equal to the word salad? Now we can go over and look in the global frame. We have a variable order. It contains the word salad. It is an exact match. And that means that this is going to evaluate to true. So we run the next statement, and that's going to be line 5. Line 5 says, I hope you like ranch. After line 5 executes, we're done. Execution drops down below line 7, and our program is complete. So now let's take a look at the operation of else. Else doesn't have an additional condition. It matches only in the case that none of the other questions match. Else is optional, but it's sometimes really useful because maybe you want to know if something happens, like that time when I was 12 and my server just kept saying super salad, which I kept hearing super salad, and so I just said, yeah, okay, I guess if that's my only choice. So here it happens again. Yes, says young Mike. Submit. Well, my order is yes. So is that soup? No. Is that salad? No. The two questions that we asked on line 2 and line 4 both returned a negative result. Those questions were false. So that means the only thing left to do is jump into the else and say, well, I missed on all of those things. I guess I'm going to have to do this thing on line 7. And that is print the word huh. There's a whole lot more that you should probably know about if, elif, and else. For example, Else is always optional. I did mention that, but elif is optional as well. The only thing about a decision that is not optional is they always begin with an if. The conditions inside of an if statement can get much more complicated. You can use the logical operators and or and not to do things like test two or more conditions or reverse a condition. If you want to find the code for this lesson, look in the comments below. There's a whole lot more to know about the if and elif and else statements, and a whole lot you can do with them. For example, you can put any other Python statement inside the body of an if or an else or an elif. If you want to see the full power of if, elif, and else statements, and you want to know how to use logical operations in constructing questions for if, elif, and else, go to my GitHub page and look at my Python for Everyone notebooks. There you're going to find a lot more real-world examples of what you can do with if statements and notebooks that are going to show you interesting things that you can do and interesting programs that you can write. So that's it for if, elif, and else. This has been a very short lesson. There's so much more to know. Take this code and practice it on your own. Try changing the conditions or using different operations.